Welcome to Kill the Market. This is Uncle Toro. I'm just going to be going over some charts real quick. I do this every weekend, try to find my setups for next week, what I'm looking at, what looks good, what doesn't. I'm going to start with Apple here. You know, we talked about this one. I posted a video about this when I posted the chart. The week of the 6th, you know, we had that strong close over this level here, 31326. Last week, we came down, retested, and shot out. That would have been the play here. Drop down to the daily to see what we can see. Again, here's Monday. Had that gap up, kind of sold off. Tuesday, retested. That's our entry. Kill that, smash that, go long. Up here, it's kind of tough to find a play. I'll let this one cool off a little bit. Again, price is never too high. Could keep running. But it just gets harder to find entries when you're just going straight up. Now we'll go to AMD here, see. So you can see we're trading in this channel, kind of choppy, but still moving up, higher highs. And then we had the inside week followed by an outside week. So we clipped the top. This high was 572.50. This was 574.20. Came right back down, sold all the way down. They tried to bounce it here off of 460. Did not get back in the channel. Couple levels here. We're below 498.15. That acted as support these previous weeks. Closed under that. Not pretty. Check it out on the daily here. Yeah, you can see Thursday is when we had the breakdown. Closed under. They tried to fill it up real quick. Couldn't. Bears took it down. Friday, we had a massive gap down. Traded lower to 460.21 before pushing higher. Still not above that level, 498 level. I wouldn't mind seeing a quick retest here of the channel. This would be my grade A setup. So price can come here, then look for more downside. Kind of be looking for that. So somewhere around 512. Let's see, let's try and find a level here. Yeah, somewhere around here. Yeah, you can see a lot of wicks off these levels. So 511, 512. Let's look for a run up there. Potential to short it back down. Amazon. This one's pretty ugly. So we have earnings is a little bit out. I don't think it's this week. But you can see there's this level here, 249.51. Just can't close above it. Last time they did here on this week, you can see it's actually... Yeah, the 1 week that closed above led to this big push here. Kind of got choppy around this channel. You can see this is based off of these two highs. Extend that over. Had trouble. Did break out, but couldn't hold it. Price came back down, and it's been battling that 249.51 level. Sold off. Still green on the day, but a very ugly candle. We'll be looking for more downside here. I kind of like this setup. 438. 38. Let's see if we can get a push there. Depending on what happens, we'll check it on Monday. If we can get a gap down and then retest this weekly level and then push down more, that would be a grade A setup for me. Got to kind of see where this one ends up on Monday. Let's check it on the daily. Yeah, again, we had this uptrend. They tried to break it out. Bears didn't like it. Came right back down. Google does have earnings. Let's see, we've been on this nice trend here, holding our upper trend line here. Price shot up. This 341.20 was kind of holding it down from these weeks here when it was consolidating under that level. Had that nice close here above, and then it just shot up from there. It's come back in a retest, so still bullish as long as we can hold this level. I won't touch it with earnings here, but we'll see how it reacts after that. Potential here if it can stay bullish, or it might come down and test this trend line again if it wants to sell off. Now Meta, this is a nice one. So this one's trying to hold bullish here. We had this strong downtrend. We had this nice weekly push up, closed over for a breakout. Last week kind of consolidated, retesting that breakout point. On the daily, you can see it had to gap up over to get out. It did. Consolidated Friday. I mean, the market conditions were tough, sold off, but it did get bought back up and it closed above that level. Candle closes are everything. That's what we watch for. Closed above. We'll look for a gap fill before a potential push up to the weekly high. I'd be interested to see what happens here at the gap fill at 660. That 660 level we can push there. We really need a strong push over that. You can kind of see how it's been reacting around that level on previous over here. So gap fill, see what happens at 660. That's the play, or a potential retest of this trend line. So there's two setups here. Let's see, I'll show you what I'm looking for. Let's say we open here. We want to retest here before push higher, or we can come up here. So we can actually look to play this both ways. Gap fill, see how it reacts here. This might come back down, or it could possibly break high, retest, gone. Actually, so three ways to play this. It's kind of nice to have variety, but it is bullish in my opinion with this close over my trend line. So we'll kind of wait and see what happens there. Microsoft just chopping in this channel. It's trending up, but it's not really doing much. A lot of wicking, a lot of just disgustingness. So nothing clear here yet. The one clear thing for me is that 404.24 line. That's my bull bear level. Not able to break out. Still bearish in my opinion. More downside possibility here unless we can get that close above that level and then maybe push higher. Netflix just freaking sucks. Weekly, disgusting. You people who bought up here should be very disappointed in yourself. Prices come back down to what? When was this? September of 2024. So we're retesting those levels. We're holding this 63.90, around 64, somewhere there. Holding that level. If it drops below that, it could get even more ugly. I mean, I'm not really looking to trade this one, but if I did, what I would like is I want it down here. I want it lower. I want it at 64 before we try and break out of this trend line. Otherwise, I'm not even looking to be bullish on it. NVDA. So this is very similar to Meta, right? We got our breakout. We had a rough week in the market, sold off, still held above the trend line here. Now let's see what happens. Let's drop down to the daily. So we had the breakout, we had consolidation, retested, it did bounce, did fill the gap too. But I like where it's at. I'm looking for a push now higher. We got to get over 203.83. I would like a breakout above that level. Let's get a little retest and then go. That's the setup I would be looking for there. Yeah, Monday morning is going to be interesting. I feel a lot of things are unclear right now. We need a good day to see where we're going to go. However, two things that are not unclear to me are QQQ and SPY. QQQ, let's take a look at the week first. This 700.91, basically 701 was my bear bull level. Broke down, closed below. You can see all the support it had here previously, not able to hold it this time, and it pushed quite a bit too. So from 701 we got down to 695.33. That's where it closed. It actually got all the way down to 686. We need to get above this line for more upside. That's essential. And again, let's look at SPY too. Same deal for me here. This is kind of the opposite of, let me delete this, Meta and NVIDIA. This broke out and retested and failed. Check it out on the daily. You can see our breakout, consolidation, failed. Gap down, could not fill the gap, sold it back down. Very ugly chart. So SPY and QQQ, both very similar here. Bearish closes on the week. They need some help. We might, QQQ, really nice QQQ play here, would be to see this. Let's get that retest down here, 682. Then maybe look for a push up higher. However, if it does want to break that, what do we do? Oh, confirmation. Confirmations are everything. Get that retest and then back down. So depending where it hits this trend line, you know, 2 setups we can look either way. SPY to me, kind of the same idea. You'd really like a push up. I'd like to see this potential up, or again, let's break it out, come back down and go. So the retest of these trend lines is going to be very important. Should we even retest them come Monday morning? Tesla. This one has earnings this week as well. It had a rough week, sold off quite a bit. Testing this trend line here, it's just a clone of my overall channel, which you can see has been tested quite a bit over the years. We're there again. What's going to happen? Are we going to bounce? Are we going to sell off? Everything can play off that trend line. Kind of the same ideas, right? If we come down, let's look for a retest, if possibly further south. If we pop up, we can retest for more push to the upside. Let's check on the daily as well. Yeah, same kind of thing. Gap down. They filled the gap, held over the line. So I wouldn't say I'm bullish, but I like they're trying, right? They're giving it a shot, see what happens. You can see last time, one candle closed, this candle closed, but it was kind of a indecisive day. Then it gapped down, and the bulls really stepped in to push this thing higher. We have been putting in lower highs, also lower lows. Now, if we can push here, we break structure, we'll have a higher low, so with potential to go. If we get below this level, it's just going to keep selling. 368, you know, that could turn into 356 very quickly. So keep an eye. Monday, like I said, a lot of things right on the line, a lot of things indecisive. We need some idea. We need direction. So after Monday, we'll do a little update and see where we're at. But that'll at least to give you an idea of what to look for as we continue on in the week. Once we find out Monday, I'll give an update, see what we can find out from that, and then go from there. Thanks for listening to Kill the Market. This is Uncle Toro. Please like and subscribe and all that stuff, and we'll be bringing you plenty more of these. Thanks for listening.